blackness. Infinite, absolute. It was a void so profound that it seemed to swallow all notions of time and space, leaving behind an expanse that was both terrifying and mesmerizing. Silence reigned, a suffocating blanket woven from the absence of sound. It was a silence that pressed against the soul, a heavy, oppressive force that seemed to echo with the weight of forgotten memories and lost dreams. No light, no warmth, no feeling. The darkness was complete, an all-encompassing shroud that left no room for hope or despair. It was as if the universe itself had taken a breath and held it, waiting for something to break the stillness. There was only the vast emptiness, a canvas untouched by the brushstrokes of existence. It was a place where time had no meaning, where the past and future were swallowed by the eternal now. Then, a tremor, a ripple in the fabric of nothingness. It was subtle at first, almost imperceptible, but it carried with it the promise of change, a hint of something more, a suggestion of thought, a whisper of potential, like a seed in the heart of winter, dreaming of spring. It was a fragile hope, but it was enough to disturb the stillness, to set the stage for what was to come. From the abyss, a single point emerged, a pinpoint of light, tiny yet defiant. It was a spark of life in the midst of desolation, a beacon of possibility in a sea of nothingness. It pulsed, a beacon in the endless night, its glow a challenge to the dominion of the void. With each pulse, it grew stronger, more vibrant, as if drawing strength from the very darkness it sought to dispel. As it grew, it stretched, reaching out with tendrils of luminescence, painting streaks of reality upon the canvas of nothing. It was a dance of light and shadow, a battle between creation and oblivion. The void resisted, its silence a weapon against the encroaching light. But the seed had been planted, the dream had begun. And in that dream, there was a promise of a new dawn, a world reborn from the ashes of nothingness. A figure stirred, emerging from the depths of a dreamless sleep. He was adrift in a sea of swirling colors, a kaleidoscope of sensations bombarding him from every direction. The sky above was a canvas painted with hues of orange, pink, and violet, blending seamlessly into the deep blues and greens of the aurora borealis. He felt weightless, adrift, a leaf caught in a cosmic wind, floating aimlessly through the vast expanse. The wind whispered secrets of the universe, carrying him to the edge of existence. Confused, he reached out, his hand passing through landscapes that shifted and morphed like watercolors bleeding into one another. Each touch sent ripples through the fabric of reality, distorting the world around him. Towers of gold crumbled into dust as emerald forests sprouted, only to be swallowed by raging infernos that danced across the sky. The cycle of creation and destruction played out in an endless loop, a testament to the impermanence of all things. He called out, his voice a thin thread in the chaotic symphony of creation and destruction playing out around him. The storm clouds gathered, and thunder rumbled in response, but no one answered his desperate plea. There was no answer, only the echoes of his own fear mingling with the ever-changing panorama. The mountains stood tall and silent, while the desert sands shifted restlessly, mirroring his inner turmoil. Who was he? Where was he? The questions swirled in his mind, each one more pressing than the last. He stood at a crossroads, the path ahead shrouded in mist and uncertainty. The questions pounded in his mind, a drumbeat against the silence of his soul. He sat alone, the weight of his thoughts pressing down on him like the setting sun on the horizon. He felt a presence, vast and ancient, watching him. It was as if the very essence of the world was aware of his existence, observing his every move with a silent, knowing gaze. "Welcome," a voice whispered. It seemed to emanate from everywhere and nowhere at once, a chorus of 1,000 whispers woven into a single, resonant tone. "Do not be afraid, little one. You are safe within the dream." The figure, still adrift in the sea of shifting realities, tried to focus on the voice. "Dream?" he echoed, the word foreign yet oddly familiar. "What dream? Where am I?" "You are within yourself," the voice replied, its tone patient, soothing. "All that you see, all that you feel, all that you are, exists within the tapestry of your own mind." This is the dream of existence, and you, little one, are the dreamer. The figure watched as beneath him, armies clashed on fields of blood and glory. The sounds of battle echoed through the ages, a cacophony of steel and cries that transcended time. He stood as a silent observer, witnessing the endless cycle of conflict and conquest. Empires rose and fell, their borders redrawn with each passing generation. The maps of the world were in constant flux, a testament to the impermanence of human endeavors. Each empire, no matter how grand, was eventually reduced to ruins, its legacy scattered to the winds. He saw the rise of civilizations, the flowering of art and culture, the relentless march of progress. From the ancient temples to the masterpieces of the Renaissance to the innovations of the Industrial Age, each era left its mark on the tapestry of history. Yet, with a chilling clarity, he saw it all for what it truly was, an elaborate illusion. The grandeur and achievements were but reflections in a distorted mirror, a mirage that masked the underlying truth. The voice continued, its words weaving through the tapestry of the dream. Look closer, little one. The mist that shrouds reality is thick, but with keen eyes, one can see through it. See the futility of their struggles, the emptiness of their ambitions. The ruins of their once great cities stand as silent witnesses to their endless toil, their dreams crumbling into dust. Nations are but lines drawn in the sand, borders etched in water. The tides of time wash away their marks, leaving no trace of their existence. History is a story whispered by the wind, its truths as fleeting as the breath that utters them. The scrolls of the past are scattered by the winds of change, their secrets lost to the sands of time. Temples rose around him, monuments to deities both benevolent and cruel. He saw the faithful kneeling in prayer, their hopes and fears projected onto the heavens. He witnessed the rise of religions, their doctrines shaping the very fabric of the dream. But even in the eyes of the divine, he saw the flicker of illusion. Gods and demons, angels and devils, the voice murmured, its tone tinged with amusement. All are constructs of the mind, reflections of your own hopes and fears given form. They exist only within the dream, their power as fleeting as the faith that sustains them. The figure found himself surrounded by equations, the language of the universe swirling around him. He witnessed the birth of stars, the intricate dance of atoms, the elegant laws that govern the cosmos. Yet, even in the cold logic of science, he sensed the same underlying truth. Science seeks to quantify the infinite, to impose order upon chaos, the voice whispered. But the universe is a boundless ocean, and your instruments are but buckets. You can measure the waves, chart the currents, but the true nature of the sea will always remain beyond your grasp. Overwhelmed, the figure cried out, his voice echoing through the vastness of the dreamscape. If all is illusion, then what is real? What is the point of it all? The voice seemed to draw closer, its presence a comforting weight in the face of his despair. Ah, the eternal question, it said, its tone gentle. The answer, little one, lies not in seeking truth outside yourself, but in understanding the nature of the dreamer. The landscapes around him began to dissolve, the boundaries between worlds blurring until only the figure and the voice remained. He looked down at his hands, no longer solid but composed of the same swirling energy that made up the dreamscape. You are both the dreamer and the dream, the voice whispered, its words resonating deep within him. Inseparable, intertwined. There is no you without the dream, and no dream without you. To seek reality outside of this is to chase shadows. A sense of peace settled over the figure as he finally understood. The illusion wasn't something to fear or escape, but something to embrace. He was the architect of his own reality, the author of his own story. Go now, little one, the voice said, fading into the distance. Live your dream, create, experience, love. For in the grand tapestry of existence, even illusions have their own unique beauty. The figure smiled, and with a newfound sense of wonder, he dove back into the swirling chaos of the dream, ready to explore the infinite possibilities that lay before him. He was the dream, and the dream was him. And that, he realized, was more than enough.